What's up guys, it's Todd, and as you can see, this video is going to be on the Nvidia Shield, and it's 1 year later. The Nvidia Shield's been out a little over a year now. When I first got mine, I did a video on it a little over a year ago, and just covered some of the different gaming features. And the one thing that I want to focus on this video is more of the games that you can download and install, the actual Shield games, and the Nvidia GeForce Now, which is their grid streaming service. It's kind of like Netflix for games. About a year ago when I did the demo, that service was free because it was new, and it was choppy at best. It didn't maintain frame rates too well. You couldn't really pump up the graphic settings. There was a lot of issues. So I wanted to revisit it now that the service is a paid service. It's $7.99 a month. You get access to about 66 streaming games for that $8 a month, and Nvidia is constantly adding more to it. Plus, there's a handful of AAA new release titles that you can purchase, like Homefront, The Revolution, Witcher 3, etc. So let's go and take a look at the streaming service now and see what you can expect from the Nvidia Shield. Alright guys, so we're just going to go ahead and get into GeForce Now, which is the streaming service. And as you can see, there's lots of titles in here. Again, roughly 66 that are included with the $8 membership, and then right here, additional titles that you can purchase and stream instantly. Now, again, about a year ago when I did testing on the GeForce Now, it was really hard to play games above 720p. Even with low graphic settings enabled, a lot of the games were choppy. So what I want to go ahead and do now is test out a handful of games for you, and I'm going to start with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is pretty decent, and as you can see, it shows 1080p 60. So we're going to go ahead and play Tomb Raider and see how it looks. Alright guys, so here's Tomb Raider. I've probably put a good 30 minutes or so into this game, and the Nvidia streaming service is 100% better than it was a year ago when I tested it out, and it should be, because you have to pay for it now for $8 a month, and you get the first 90 days free, which is a really good deal. Now with Tomb Raider, I have all the graphics settings turned up as high as they'll go, and when we launched the game, it stated that it was capable of 1080p at 60 frames per second. It's playing very well, but unfortunately to me, it doesn't feel like it's true 60 frames per second. I'm just not feeling that smoothness, but it's definitely higher than 30. I just don't know exactly what it is because I don't have an FPS tool for the Nvidia Shield, unfortunately. I wish I could give you guys some actual real results of how these games are playing. But all I can say is that it handles very well. The game plays well. It doesn't glitch, it doesn't frame lock, all the buttons are very responsive. It feels like the game is installed locally on my system. I really can't tell that I'm streaming this from Nvidia's grid network straight to the Nvidia Shield. It plays just very, very well. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys just a handful of other games. I'm not going to be talking while they're playing. I'm just going to just show a few seconds of just a couple more games so you can see the quality. And I think for $8 a month, this is a hell of a deal.
We gotta run! We gotta stay!
Alright guys, the next thing I want to show you is the Shield games. These are games that you can download and install natively to the Nvidia Shield. There is roughly over 200 titles, both free and paid for, that you can download. Some of the ones that are exclusive to the Nvidia Shield perform really well, like Doom 3 BFG Edition. That game is locked at 1080p, 60 frames per second. It looks really well. Unfortunately, I don't have that one downloaded and installed, as I already own it for PC. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and buy Half-Life 2 Episode 1 to show you guys, because that's one game I don't own on my PC yet. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that now. Alright guys, so here is Half-Life 2 Episode 1. Downloaded it, installed it to the Shield. The game plays very, very smooth. It just works very well. Now, while this demonstration is playing, I'll talk a little bit about the hardware inside the Nvidia Shield. It is powered by Nvidia's Tegra X1 chip, their mobile chip, which is right now the most powerful graphics chipset there is for mobile devices. And it's actually rumored to be the chip that's going to be in the new Nintendo NX. Possibly that'll have the X2, but for now it's rumored that it's going to be this chip, the X1. Now, the X1 is more powerful than PS3, the 360, and the Wii U. However, it can't really hold a candle to the PS4 and Xbox One. So if you're expecting this to play games natively as good as they would play on the current generation consoles, it's not going to happen. But it does play very well. And for a $200 system, which, for what you get, given that you still have to pay for the games and that you pay for the subscription service to GeForce Now, I think $200 is a little steep. It's not bad, but I'd be a lot happier at around $150 for everything, which, you know, you could probably find these on sale occasionally for around that price, so it's not too big of a deal. But again, here's Half-Life 2. I probably played this game for a good couple hours. I don't have a whole lot of games. Well, actually, this is the only game that I downloaded and installed to the Nvidia Shield, aside from some like little bombing around mini game. I'm not going to show you guys that one. But you have access to the Google Play Store, so any controller-enabled game through Google Play you can download, install, and play on the Nvidia Shield. There's just a lot of great features that you can take advantage of. You can play a lot of previous gen games in great quality natively on the Nvidia Shield, and it plays really well. So after this, the next thing that I want to get into is the game streaming, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a demonstration of Doom, the new Doom game. And the game streaming, which is streaming from your local PC to the Nvidia Shield, it holds up all right for some games. For some slower paced games like Witcher 3 and maybe some side scrollers, it's fine. To me, it's more of a novelty feature, but given that, I don't really see a need to do it all the time, or really to do it at all. I'd rather just play games on the PC, because while the game is streaming, you can't use your PC, because it's essentially like a remote desktop type technology, or like the current gens, how you can stream PS4 and Xbox One games to your PC. Fine, you can do it, but there's really not much point to it. That's just me. I could be wrong. You guys might feel differently about it. But here's just the last thing I'll go over, which is the streaming service, and here is Doom 4. Alright guys, so here is the new Doom, or Doom 4, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm streaming this from my PC using the Nvidia Game Stream. Now, my PC is running an Nvidia GTX 980 Ti. So when I play this game natively on my PC, all settings are maxed out as high as they can. I have no problems achieving 60 frames per second, and there is just no frame rate drops. It plays absolutely amazing. Now, the streaming service, from what you can see, the game looks pretty good. It doesn't feel good while you're playing it over the game stream. It just doesn't. The controls don't feel as responsive. And for a fast-paced shooter like this, you really need your controls to be on point. And as fast-paced it is, you don't want frame rate drops. It just needs to work very well. And through NVIDIA's game stream, it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. The controls don't feel responsive. And in reality, I don't really see me using this feature a whole lot with my Shield. The features I'm going to use are definitely basically the Google Nexus Player features, which give you, Netflix, Hulu Plus, HBO Go, all your streaming services, and everything you're going to get out of a set-top media device. And I'll definitely be using the GeForce Now, which is the grid network streaming. That service works phenomenally well a year later. A year ago, I thought it was a turd, and it kind of turned me off. But right now, the service works really well. The requirement is at least a 30 meg internet connection, which most of us have plenty more than that nowadays. So that shouldn't be an issue unless you live out in the middle of nowhere where just internet service, high-speed internet service hasn't made its way to you yet. If that's the case, you may want to stay away from this device until then. But that's really all I got to say about the Shield, guys. For a $200 console, it works really well. For local games and, again, the streaming service from Nvidia's grid network, from a PC, not so much. Maybe some slower-paced games, like I mentioned before, Witcher 3, some side-scrollers. The Batman games play pretty well, but fast-paced Twitch shooters like this, not going to work. So other than that, guys, that's all I really have to talk about the Shield right now. I kind of haven't messed with it in a long time, and I figured it's been a year, I'll pick it up and see what has changed and if it's even better. And it is a lot better than it was a year ago. The services have dramatically improved. So if you're thinking about buying an Nvidia Shield, hopefully this video gives you the info and maybe the demonstrations you're looking for to help you make that decision. Other than that, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, see ya.